Tape 2. Tape 2, November 17, 1994. Rabbi Dr. Mika Weiss.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, on the same day, Wednesday afternoon, all of us, they put in a truck to carry us away from the yard, and the Gestapo asked, "Who is the youngest among you?" And I was the youngest. And he said, took out his revolver, "In 5 minutes you don't collect the garbage, I will shoot you here." Even today I don't know how could I do it. Put in my pocket everything, and I run, and I didn't shoot me. I don't know how did I do it. Then they took us to a jail from there in Gyula, and the next day they took us to Debrecen in a jail. In a jail where like we were 50 or 60 people, like herrings. They gave us food like for dogs. Not because we were Jews, because this was the system in Hungary, and food they threw us like in a little pot once or twice in a day. And then after a couple of weeks, I was about 3 weeks in the jail in Debrecen. They took us to Hajdú Szentgyörgy, where the other hostages were. 300 elite people from Debrecen and from all Hajdú and Békés country, the elite for hostage. They will shoot us if somebody will escape, instead of somebody will escape from the ghetto.
What happened after that?
It happened in this Hajdú Szentgyörgy. We were put in a huge stable, and every minute the SS called us in order, you have some gold, and they will shoot us and our family. And then I realized, my God, I will be dead soon. And these people need some encouragement. And I made up my mind, if I have to die, I die. But on Shoah, I remember I didn't have any book. I talked to these people, encouraged them. Don't give up, and don't give a chance them. Hold it. And it was and the SS outside understood Hungarian. And they cried, and they were the first time happy somebody said them encouraging word. So later they made an oath that if we come back, you will be our chief rabbi in Debrecen.
And you were under German jurisdiction at this
German,
prison?
the SS.
Where did you go from here?
Yeah, after in July, they.
What year?
This was in '44. They took us all the hostages. We have to march to the téglagyár. How do you say téglagyár? Brick factory in Debrecen. We were there maybe a day, and it was horrible. The food was cooked in bathtubs, but they put us in the train, in a cattle cars. In his cattle cars was for 50 or 60 people. We had 120, even more. I saw cruel things with the gendarmes, the Hungarians, threw children to the iron and trampled on kids. This was the Hungarians. Then in the cattle car, 3 days without water. The same, we didn't go to Auschwitz, we were the Kastner. In Vienna. At first we arrived in Strasbourg. When we came to over the Austrian border, they opened the door and they sprinkled us with water. The first time after 3 days, we got water, and we could step down, and they took us for a shower. We had to leave everything outside. They took us for a shower. And after the shower, I make the story short, Yeah, stop.
No, go on.
Yeah.
Go on.
By the way, they plundered. They had the Ukrainians there. We left our rucksack outside, and they even stole whatever was left over for us, what we could carry with us. Then after the shower, they cleansed us, and they told us we will go for work in Wien, in Vienna.
Was this in a camp or in a building? Or where was it?
This was a camp, Strasbourg. And they took me and others to Wien, Vienna, the others also to Vienna or around. I remember where I was in a school, Bischofsgasse 12. We were a couple of hundred people in this school, and we got some miser food, some bread and margarine. They took us to work. Here I have a story. Next day they took us to Siemens to work, or to dig. And the old people, I never forget his name, Dr. Springer, I was a hostage with him, cried me, Rabbi, I cannot do it, I am too old, help me. And his wife digged also, and I helped him. And in the noon, I went to the, because I was the Aufseher, Jewish Aufseher, because I spoke perfectly German at that time, and I asked the German, please, I want to work and make these people the leader or whatever. And he told me, you dirty Sau, we honored you, other slap. I will teach you. And they gave me such a hard work, only one day, because later they took us to another place to work.
So here you were together with women and children?
Women and children in one room. They made, how do you call this, beds, like the soldiers has. Bunks. I was, many of them were members of my congregation, but most of them were strangers from Debrecen all around.
Describe a little bit how these bunks looked. I mean, were the men and women and children all?
Yeah, the families, like I had some husband and wife, had in the same room. They were and child together, but we were together. But we had the restroom for women because it was a school. They could do it. And the Lagerführer was a Nazi, a little guy, but he talked to us.
Do you remember his name?
I don't know. I don't remember his name, but he was a little Austrian guy, but the Jewish leaders were also there. But sorry to say, they stole a lot of the food.